Welcome back to Inside Charlottesville, your local monthly public affairs TV program. I'm your host, Afton Schneider, Director of Communications and Public Engagement for the city. On this episode, we'll go on the spot with City Manager Sam Sanders. We visit the Charlottesville Community Media Center, where a recent partnership with Starr Hill Pathways provided a crash course in multimedia production. We'll hear from our fire and police departments and learn about hiring efforts that are currently underway. We take you to the Move Safely Blue Ridge project demonstration and hear from City Traffic Engineer Brennan Duncan. We'll see highlights from the 2025 State of the Community, presented by the Charlottesville Regional Chamber of Commerce. We visit Court Square to witness an unveiling ceremony for a new state historical marker. And we'll get to know Todd Niemeier, Director of Human Rights for the city. Welcome back to On the Spot. I'm here with City Manager Sam Sanders. Hello.
Hello.
So I thought it would be appropriate for us to talk here because, as you know, you presented the proposed budget to council earlier this week at the beginning of the month.
Right.
So in that presentation, you mentioned that there were 4 budget drivers.
Right.
What is a budget driver? Like, what does that mean for the budget?
Yeah, when we refer to a budget driver, we're talking about what are some of the big significant expenses that we have within the budget itself. So for this upcoming budget cycle, it's going to be schools, transportation, housing, and organizational excellence, which is really focusing internal to the organization.
So is that where the most amount of dollars will be spent?
Yeah, there's a lot in each of those categories. I mean, there's a lot in the budget. It's a $264 million budget, but there are some significant expenditures in each of those categories, which is why we kind of highlight that for council so that they recognize these are your priorities in play.
Okay, and then since this is a community TV program, I wanted to ask you about these 3 specific topics you touched on: aiding, enriching, and protecting our community.
Right.
What are some of the budget drivers there?
Yeah, so in the aiding our community, that's where we're giving direct assistance to individuals in our community that may be struggling, maybe having some difficulties, some hard times with managing their households. So our Pathways Fund, our Vibrant Community Fund is how we fund nonprofit organizations. Pathways is how we help people pay rent and utility bills that they may be falling behind on. Some of our other programs, we have some direct assistance included in those. When we're talking about protecting, it's really all about public safety, so law enforcement, police, fire, emergency management. And in the enriching category, it's where council has a strategic initiatives fund that they can spend money on directly. It's about $500,000. And our parks and recreation. So we're getting a new parks master plan. So our goal is going to be to begin implementing how do we make some of those improvements to really enhance our parks across the whole system for the larger community.
Well, that's exciting. Yeah. And before we wrap this up, I wanted to note that people can visit the budget website to check out all of our budget work sessions coming up where they can provide feedback, and council will be there too. Right. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up this budget segment?
Yeah, I know that this will run at different times for the month, but if you are happening to tune in before March 20th, there is a community budget forum that will be held in City Space at 6 o'clock. We will welcome you to come and actually speak to council and let us know what you think about the budget.
Well, City Manager Sanders, thanks so much for being back.
On the spot.
On the spot.
This is the Charlottesville Community Media Center. It's a multimedia production and training facility based here on the downtown mall in Charlottesville. Today we had a group from Starr Hill Pathways in the studio facility to learn all facets of studio production. They got an opportunity to be an interviewer, interviewee. They got to operate the studio equipment itself, learn how to do different audio techniques, operate a soundboard, operate a video switcher, operate a camera controller, and then be on set and learn what it's like to present yourself on camera. Tell us why it is that you like Starr Hill Pathways, or why is it important? In the course of just 90 minutes, this was really a crash course in multi-camera production. Each participant got to do kind of a round-robin technique and go through all of the motions of not just being on camera, but working behind the scenes. And then in the last half hour, a very quick post-production job, putting all that together on a timeline and cutting together a PSA. I think this kind of partnership is really important so that students of all ages can learn how to do this and really pick up skills training and ultimately workforce development. If this is something that they want to do later on in life, as some of the participants today indicated that they want to get into the media field, I think this is a really neat way to start.
Starr Hill's important to me because I like the people in it. What made you want to be in Starr Hill?
I think it's because I had like a little like situation in my life back then, and like it inspired me to be like a bigger person and like where I want to go in life and what I want to do and like just be greater.
I like it because they want to help you with your future, and they also help you with like your grades and other stuff.
I agree. Starr Hill is a good program.
We have a big community and everybody's basically friends.
Yeah.
And it's just really chill.
Starr Hill can help me build like my future and what I want like in the future, like careers, colleges and stuff like that. And like those things are like really important to me.
I feel like Starr Hill has helped me make more friends and have better academics. How Starr Hill affected you?
I feel like the same, but like in general, I just feel like I've connected with like all the counselors and stuff.
Look, Dad, it's a police officer. I really want to be a police officer when I grow up.
You know, McGruff, I think you are going to be a police officer when you grow up. And I know you're going to be a great one.
And there he was, 20 years later, walking into the Charlottesville Police Department.
New year, new career. Here we go.
Hey, McGruff.
Hey.
How are you? Welcome to CPD.
Thank you for having me.
Have I met you before?
That's one mean handshake you got there. Let's see. How do we do this here? Apply. Serve and protect my community. I want to be a cop. Yeah, that's what I want to be.
McGruff.
Yes, sir.
You have what it takes to be a police officer here in the city of Charlottesville. You do?
I do.
Show me 10 jumping jacks.
1, 2, 10.
All right, I'm impressed.
Knew you would be.
All right, that's a good one. You still think you have what it takes?
Well, I got the dog in
Show
me.
me some push-ups.
Yes, sir. 1, 2, 3.
All right, so now we're gonna take the written portion of the test, Mr. McGruff.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna start with section 1. You have 20 minutes, all right? Good luck.
I got this. X plus Y equals 2 milk bones.
All right, Mr. McGruff, we're gonna start the panel interview, all right? We're just gonna ask you a few questions. Take your time and answer them as best you can, okay?
All right.
All right. Tell us about a time when effective listening skills helped you in a problematic situation.
Well, one time I was at the dog park. There were 2 aggressive dogs fighting over a ball. And, I went over up to them and I spoke to them and I effectively communicated to de-escalate the situation.
All right, thank you.
I'm the real deal now. Thank you, sir.
Welcome to CPD.
Thank you, ma'am. Oh, yeah. I did. I'm Charlottesville Police Officer. Ready for action.
Charlottesville Police Department, community partners in safety. To apply, visit cpdcareers.com.
If McGruff can do it, so can you.
Hey Scott, how you doing?
Hey Kyle, I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. So I got some questions for you. So you guys are doing some hiring with single role. What exactly is that? What positions are you looking for and what kind of people are you looking for?
Sure. We are doing some hiring for some single role EMS providers. The Charlottesville Fire Department is looking for experienced people that are passionate about EMS, both at the EMT and the medic level, to help fill a need in our department. The deadline is going to be March 14th. March 14th. Sure, we're hiring for 2 positions. One's the EMT basic, and the other one is a medic level position. It could be a Virginia intermediate, or it could be a National Registry paramedic or a Virginia paramedic.
So with the first position, what kind of work are they going to be doing?
They're going to be doing patient care off of one of our 2 ambulances that are in service every day.
What about the other position?
They'll be paired up with one of the EMTs. So our goal is to ride with one EMT and one medic on one of our 2 trucks. One of the best things to do is to either follow us on our social medias and look for information there, or you can go to the City of Charlottesville webpage and find any information there. You can do 2 things. You can go to the job board and look at for the job posting, or you can go to the Charlottesville Fire Department section of the City of Charlottesville's page and look for Join CVille or Join CFD, and there should be some questions there, or at least a contact number on how to get a hold of us.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Scott. I'll see you later. Have a good one.
All right, thanks, Scott.
Thank you all for being here. It's really awesome to see how many people wanted to come together this morning and talk about invasive plants and protecting our urban tree canopy. So thank you all for being here. And extra special thanks also to Chip and all the folks who are participating in that for being our featured partners. And they are coming together to help organize folks at the neighborhood level to fight invasive vines and to protect our urban tree canopy. So that is awesome, and we're excited that so many folks wanted to learn about that today.
This is going to be really kind of like an informal opportunity for discussion. We've got a lot of experts, a lot of people curious about invasive plants, invasive vines. We will have 3 groups being led by different organizations. Our first group over here is going to be Invasive 101 with Blue Ridge Prism and Charlottesville Urban Forestry. We're going to have a group right here led by Rivanna Conservation Alliance about promoting stewardship and green spaces. And then we're going to have a group over on the side there led by Chip about mobilizing our communities to protect trees and manage invasive vines.
This first poem is called Tree Walk with Worry. I worry even the violence is mycelial and branches up from the tree of each of us. I worry evenly about the willow oaks, about what spreads from all our petioles. I try walking with the worry, some's mine, some's not. Heat lamps eat away at the worry and the willow oaks. Meanwhile, I don't eat, beholden to the accidental violence of what we don't notice. I barely notice that. I worry, I willow, sweltering through the changes. I worry, I willow, I shake my throat.
We're having a public meeting for the East High Street and Meade Avenue intersection. We're doing a pilot demonstration as part of the Move Safely Blue Ridge plan. We're looking at moving a traffic signal, bringing it so it's more of a T intersection, and then doing pedestrian improvements at what used to be the Meade and High intersection where the stoplight was at.
And you've got 3 different concepts or proposals here.
That's correct. We got 3 options. We're trying to get feedback from the public about which ones or which parts of those either they're in favor of or not in favor of, and then we'll settle on kind of a final preliminary design to demonstrate and move forward with that sometime in May. Keep it active for anywhere from a month to 3 months, and then do another one of these and get feedback about how it went.
So what's the ultimate goal there after you guys select the concept?
Yeah, the ultimate goal is to really come up with a viable solution for this intersection that we could, in some point in the future, go forward for funding with, and hopefully, win a bid for VDOT funds or federal funds or something to actually implement what the demonstration project is.
Awesome. And what kind of folks are you seeing out here today?
So far, there's a good mix. A lot of the residents who either live directly in the impacted area or those immediately adjacent to it.
Charlottesville has a strategic plan with a goal that states they aim to build pathways of opportunities for all residents of Charlottesville. Let's look at the state of Virginia. They also have a goal. Their strategic plan says that they strategically want to invest in different sectors and build pathways of opportunities for all folks. When you look at that, it sounds like they're saying two different things, but the reality is they both want to see economic growth. They're both looking for sustainable systems for the economy. And when you start to understand that, you find a common ground.
But we do have a financial partnership with the city. That financial partnership goes back to 1982. It's called the Revenue Sharing Agreement. And I'm going to ask Mr. Sanders, if you would, to join me on stage, because we are going to celebrate the fact that this year we're crossing the $20 million threshold of what we pay them on an annual basis. To the city of Charlottesville, $20,175,533. Don't cash this till next year. 1982 revenue sharing agreement. I've signed it. Sharon, this is exciting. So Sam's going to put this check under his arm, take it back to his office, and every time that I call him next year, I'm going to say, "Can you see that check?"
I decided when I got here that I wanted to know what was our relationship with the county and what is our relationship with the university, because I knew that it was important for it to be good. That's the word I wanted to hear from people to describe it for me. I have done everything that I could and can and will continue to do everything that I can to ensure that it's a good relationship. That's why you saw me walk up on this stage for Jeff to do what he just did. I love this guy. And it's an interesting relationship that we have because there are going to be times when we won't agree. There are going to be times when we're on opposite sides of the issue. But if we can work on these things here, that actually is easier to deal with. So I gave him the moment to let him hand me the check, because I'm going to take the money and spend it. So thank you. So that's really how that works. And then the university. I mean, UVA is not going anywhere. We're all going to fight if they ever tried. They're not going anywhere. So for that reason, we have to embrace that there's an opportunity there. There's a relationship. It needs to be strong, it needs to be deep, and it needs to be consistently producing.
It is critical that we acknowledge and educate ourselves on the dark history behind the industry that was once so central in Virginia's and much of the country's economy. This marker provides part of that acknowledgement and education that are critical to keeping it in the minds of our community that built this community. This marker represents the suffering of countless Black men, women, and children for over 100 years in this community. Charlottesville is a vibrant community with a history rooted in the very struggles and the successes of the American democracy. This marker identifies the horrific struggles that took place here. But I believe that my presence here, and I see my dear mentor, Eugene Williams, yes. That my presence here as an African-American mayor of Charlottesville identifies some of the successes of this community. But my friends, we have a long way to go. But part of that journey begins with this marker.
In the 18th and 19th century, men, women, and children were bought and sold right here in Court Square, all around us. Not just right here, but all around Court Square and quite frankly, everywhere. Their lives, their families, and their futures were treated not like nothing more than commodities. Today, we take this one small step toward ensuring that their lives are not forgotten. And while it might seem simple to get a marker, it's not. There's nothing simple about this. The path to installing a Virginia state marker like this one is long and it's demanding. The bar for accuracy is extremely high. But this marker is more than just words on metal. It's an acknowledgement, a reckoning, and a commitment to remembering. But let's face it, remembrance alone is not enough. The legacy of what happened here in Court Square is still with us today.
People wanted more recognition of this sort of history here. This is our history. I mean, we all own it, right? And so this is part of that reckoning. And so this community memory, it requires historical honesty. And as has been said already, this entire area of Court Square was a landscape of slavery. There were sales going on in the taverns. They would, sit there and over drinks decide human fates, buying and selling and in front of taverns and from even the courthouse steps, and of course the receipts are inside, So this is, and court officials themselves, oversaw this process, the valuation of enslaved people, the disputes over estates, and all of the paperwork that resulted from this, from the sales of people. Taxes were imposed, revenues gathered, business as usual. So it's important to be honest about how our justice system followed the law. This was the law here, but it was unjust. And it's a cautionary tale, really, to maintain vigilance. You might say, stay woke. Our community's narrative is ever evolving as we search for truth together.
Things that represent our Black community has been on the ground in this community, has been hidden, has been in spaces that you have not been able to see it. So understand that it was important to put it what? Upright. To put it upright. The same way that they put upright on the other end of this yard, John Henry James, right? Yes. John Henry James is? Upright. It's upright. It's time to put some things upright. And I'm so grateful that we are honoring this. And if you don't know your history of John Henry James, research it, okay? If you don't know your own history, do what? Research it. Research and understand more about who you are and how you fit into this narrative. So let's continue to do our research. Let's continue to learn more about who you are, and let's continue to celebrate Liberation and Freedom Day for this area. And next year, find a way to make it bigger.
Thank you.
My name is Todd Niemeier, and I am the Director of the Human Rights Commission for the City of Charlottesville, which also means I oversee the Office of Human Rights as well. I like the collaborative nature of working in the city. We get to work with so many different departments in terms of how we collaborate with the commission, or just in terms of how we think about community outreach and trying to reach people to provide services with regard to protecting people against individual discrimination. So that's exciting for me because I get to see all these super dedicated people and get to work with them. So. We're a unique office and commission because we are the only ones that focus on human rights, and it makes it special. Additionally, because in this area of Virginia, Charlottesville is the only office of human rights. There's several up in Northern Virginia. There's one down in Richmond. Doesn't quite have the enforcement power that we do, and there's a few down in the southern part of Virginia. But that makes us pretty unique in that we are focused on that in a place where maybe no one else is looking as closely at it. So that's pretty special, I think. The best way for folks to reach out to our office is to call our main intake line, which is 970-3023. There's also contact on our web page. You can send an email form that way, and that gets to us as well. People can also just stop by the office if that's the best way for them to reach us. So we try to be as accessible as possible. You can also come to Human Rights Commission meetings. Those happen every third Thursday of the month, and we have a public comment period for those. And we're always interested in hearing what people are thinking about, what issues people are facing in the community, so that we can try to address them. It's a beautiful place to live. I live close by, so love being here. I like the outdoor spaces and being out there. I also just really find the community very interesting in terms of there's so many different people here and so many different perspectives. We get to hear about them in city council, obviously, which I think is good. We have a really engaged community. So I appreciate that. I think that helps us continually think about how do we best serve everyone in the community and not just a select few. People still call me Farmer Todd, so that's comes from, I guess, the 11 years or so I spent doing community agriculture work in the Ridge Street neighborhood and in other neighborhoods in the city. So I still get that, which I think is really fun. Like, that's how people recognize me. I love seeing kids that I worked with, gosh, when they were kids, like, much shorter and, 7 or 8 years old, and now they are full-grown humans, and they still say, "Hey, Farmer Todd," out in the streets, which is, I feel lucky to be that person and that they even remember my face, so it's kind of cool.
Thank you for joining us for this month's episode of Inside Charlottesville. I'm your host, Afton Schneider. See you next month.